Yeah, we just picked up a lot of shows just from that very reason. People going under and they're selling their shows. But also we pick up shows that don't do well and turn them around. You ever a show called One Piece?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen the Funimation version?
Yeah.
No.
You haven't?
No.
Okay. Well, 4 kids had it.
Unfortunately, yes.
And people apparently didn't go over well enough. And the Japanese actually pulled it from them and said they wanted to recast it at another company. So they gave Funimation a shot at it, and probably other companies too. And what Funimation did was took the top 10 characters, top 10 actors for each character, and recorded them, sent the recordings to Japan, and we were actually cast by the Japanese company and the Japanese creator of One Piece as well. So I got the part of Usopp. So if you don't like my interpretation, I don't care, because the creator likes it. So I don't know who else I can please to be happy. The creator of the series says, that's what I hear when I do this, when I drew this picture. I don't care what anyone else says. Yeah. Even though the original, we try to match the original Japanese as much as possible. And the original Japanese Usopp is a fine voice actor. If you've heard the original Japanese, you know what I'm talking about. And I feel as a voice actor, it's almost like every time I hear a line, it's like the gauntlet has been thrown. Like, beat that, American voice actor! Okay. It's quite a challenge, but also quite an honor to do that. So yeah, to answer your question, yes, we do pick up shows that from companies that have folded or whatever, or companies that have just picked up too many to carry on their own. You know, sometimes they're like, oh, we can't do all these. And so Funimation thinks that they can make some money off of it and it's a good show, then they'll pick it up. Yes?
I was wondering, if Funimation were to pick up something, I know they do anime subbing, would they be willing to do it through another studio?
We have done
If
that.
they picked up the show that they
We've Funimation is a huge company now. And one of the smartest things Funimation did was it got into the distribution business. You know, because when we first started, like Pokemon came along and it was the enemy, you know. Pokemon was challenging Dragon Ball Z, you know. And it was, you know, yeah, they were worried about it. Like, they're taking our numbers. Now, and for the past, I think 5 years, any Pokemon products have been carried by Funimation. So it's not, now Funimation gets a part of the Pokemon pie. And a lot of other companies' pies too, because they're a distributor. So yeah, that was a very smart move on their part to stay afloat, was to actually help distribute the products that they sell and the products that other people sell. I remember, I'll tell you a story. When I first started working for Tokyo Pop, Funimation's actually worked with Tokyo Pop too. And when I first started working there, after we had negotiations with their lawyers and finally got the contract agreed for happy for both sides, I got my contract in the mail from Tokyo Pop. When I opened it up, and Gen is the owner of Funimation, his name was in this contract. Like, why is his name on here? And I thought, oh, did Funimation buy Tokyo Pop? What's going on? Is he going to be my boss at Tokyo Pop as well? And then I look over here, and this contract was for $980,000. I was like, I don't think this is my contract. $1 million contract's probably not mine. So I went back and reread it, and I was like, this is about some sort of distribution deal. And they sent it to me, probably because the lawyer had, you know, Funimation on the mind. He was like, Funimation guy, and sent me Gen Fukunawa's contract. I told him, I called him up, I said, I will be willing to sign this contract and do whatever you need me to do to make that $1 million. But I think you sent it to the wrong place. And he goes, oh my God. Yeah, just send it back. So I sent it back and he gave me my contract. Not by a long shot. But it did allow me to draw comics instead of distribute stuff. So, any other questions? Yes. Can you guys hear me in the back? Good. Theater training paid off. Yes.
Just curious as to what all you have done as in terms of acting.
As far as acting is concerned, too many to name. I know so many bit parts, you know, I've done as well. But let's see the big ones. Krillin on Dragon Ball Z. What? You want me to do Krillin? What? Krillin, Bardock, Giru, from that's the Dragon Ball, and then the Dragon Ball character, and a lot of Dragon Ball characters. Piano, the Man Wolf, King Choppa, tons of characters. I did Lupin the Third, but we didn't do the television version that you guys saw. We actually picked up 13 of the movies. And if you haven't seen Funimation's Lupin the Third, you need to check them out because they're very high quality, much higher quality than the television version because, first of all, we had more time to do them. The animation is much more awesome. And she's shaking her head going, awesome, awesome. And I play Lupin. And I also directed all but one of the 13 episodes movies that we got. And they are brilliant. You guys know who Chris Sabat is?
Yeah.
He's our Jigen.
He was here 2 months ago.
And he's awesome. As a matter of fact, like the entire cast, I can say my cast, of Lupin the Third is awesome. All these people are capable of doing something that very few people in the anime industry can do, and that is improvise to mouth flaps. I mean, if you think it's hard enough just trying to match the mouth flaps while you're acting, try just making up stuff off the top of your head. And I tell them, with the Lupin movies, as long as we stick to the content, and the content stays the same, if you could think of a funnier way to say this, please do. And they always did. If you want to laugh, if you want to see a good quality movie that's anime, check out the Funimation Lupin the Thirds. And I keep saying Lupin and Lupin because we went back and forth on it. That was one of those things that the executives just went stupid over. And I don't think we ever really settled it. I remember one episode I was recording, I changed everything to Lupin and Jigen, and then we had to go back in and change it to Lupin and Jigen. So, yeah, so I think we ended up with Lupin and Jigen for every movie. But besides that fact, it's still worth watching. Any other questions? Yes?
Have you ever met a Japanese voice actor who did the same character as you?
No, I really would like to, though. I'd especially like to meet the guy who does Usopp. Just to say, wrong with you? Why do you have to scream every line? Don't you understand? This is the moneymaker? It hurts just doing that. And every line is screamed. Funny as hell, but screamed. Yes.
Would you be able to say your favorite lines for favorite line for Krillin and Usopp?
Favorite Krillin line? Well, the one I said the most was, Goku, where are you? And that's another question I get a lot, because Usopp sounds a lot like Krillin. And that's just because the Japanese voice actor, the way he does that voice, sounds kind of Krillin-y. And I think that's why they picked me, because my voice kind of naturally sounded like his. With one exception. Usopp breaks his voice when he talks. And that's really hard to do. Krillin just talks like this. You know, he says, hey, babe, what's up? You know, he can be laid back and just talk, and then he goes, hey, scream! But not like this. So, my favorite Usopp line, Usopp! That's my favorite line. Any other questions? Welcome, willkommen. Just fielding questions now on voice acting or manga or anything you want to ask. Yes?
How much of a strain was it to do all the screaming for
Krillin wasn't too bad, you know, because he didn't scream every line. But Usopp really is taking a toll on my voice, and I think by the time I'm 50, I'll talk like this, you know, which would be okay if I joined the mafia. As a voice actor, I think I'll be finished. But yeah, there's a very big strain on the voice. I got a video called The Zen of Screaming. And it's mostly for those screaming bands, you know, that right? But it's also good lessons. Like the most important thing they said is if you start to feel that your voice is breathing out, take a day off where you don't even talk to anyone. So I try to do that as much as I can.